How's it going?
Pretty much ready.
Okay.
After we go to the washroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll let Director Daniel Denny know that you're ready.
Yeah, probably in
3 minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay, sounds
Thank you.
good. I'll just let him know.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
这个的 T
好呀。
請你出可以㗎啦。
Okay. So thank you had time to go through
Hi.
the modules.
Hi there.
Yeah, this is Director Daniel.
Daniel, Denny, nice to meet you.
Hi, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Daniel. Yeah.
Alan，
Hi. Just press that. Hi, Adam. Nice to meet you, Mr. Denny. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Daniel,
Alan, you can
I
join us. Have a
think
seat right
Alan, you told everyone the school principal apology, and then he is ready to do that. But I think during the hearing, can we excuse him?
Yes.
Yeah, and then
For
so
sure,
that yeah.
because it's long. Yeah,
Yeah,
no problem, no
yeah,
problem.
and yeah,
No
just
problem.
want to make the whole hearing smooth. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate that. And
So
understand.
Alan, why don't I show you then, do you want to bring your backpack, like when it's cafeteria where you can sit if you'd like? Yeah, in the cafeteria. You're sure you don't want to stay
Oh,
for the,
yes, yeah.
okay, for the meeting? Okay.
Okay. So.
Hi, good to see you again. Nice to see you again. Hi, Alan.
Do you want to come?
Sure. Yeah.
Why don't, maybe we can get started. I know Alan wants to start.
Yes.
Yes, sorry for that. So, our family want to express our apology here for the incident on May 26th, especially Alan. He knew his behavior, and then he during the suspension time, and then he couldn't reveal about it, and then he prepared his apology letter. Would you like to express, especially to the
Good afternoon,
family?
everybody. I would like to apologize for my actions on May 26th. I understand that what I did was wrong, and I apologize to the principal and staff. I'd like to keep learning and make better decisions in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you. And then we can direct him, and then you can take a
Do you
backpack.
have really tablet or a book that you can?
这个还有个重点就是
Okay, it's fine. You can do it.
这个法律
Okay. Okay.
All good.
Yeah, we just want to second that
Okay.
further.
Please have a seat.
Would anyone like water before we get started?
I already have mine.
Perfect. You came prepared.
Okay, thank you for coming. If you need to go to the washroom, please let me know. Yeah, okay. So, hello, I'm gonna read from a script just for the beginning, okay, just so we're organized. My name is Daniel Denny, and I'm the Area Director for Northwest with the Calgary Roman Catholic School Division. I'll be chairing today's expulsion hearing. I want to begin by stating that we all want to make the best decision for your child. I want to, I'll explain as we get on more later, but I want to begin by turning on the audio recorder. Okay, my apologies, but I will be restating some of the facts, such as my name again after the recording. So again, my name is Daniel Denny, and I'm the Area Director. We are gathering here at Central Office on Thursday, June 4th, 2026, for Alan Sue's expulsion representation hearing. This meeting is being recorded. Alan was suspended on May 26th, 2026, and subsequently recommended for expulsion on June 1st, 2026. So welcome everybody, and let us begin in prayer. If you prefer not to pray, then please place yourself in a quiet, calm space. And so we begin with a prayer. In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we ask for God's blessing as we gather today as partners in learning. Lord, grant us the will to work together, the wisdom to listen to each other's views, and the insights to plan together in recognition of our role in supporting one another as we walk alongside each other in this journey of learning. Guide us to the way in which we should go. Help us to find creative ways to handle the path ahead of us, and fill us with hope and excitement for what awaits us today and always. Lord, we depend on your grace throughout this meeting and always as we go about our journey. Father, help us to work as a team and remove recognize that we're on Treaty 7 land. All right. So now let's proceed with some introductions. So that's the first time get to know I know you people, and then I'd like to, it's the first time. So let's go around the room and we'll start with you.
Yeah, my name is Christina Huang. I'm Alan's mother.
This is Eddie Su, and Su's mother.
Lisa McSween, principal at St. Monica.
And Jennifer Ortman, my name is Deputy Supervisor at the Daily Working.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you. So thanks, everyone. Now I want to explain my role at the meeting as the area director. It is my job to follow the Education Act and our administrative procedure 356.1. So that Alan gets a fair hearing. As such, it is important to note that before I review the records in the binder today, which I did shortly before the start of the meeting, I started at 1 o'clock when you guys came in. I opened the binder. I didn't know anything about, as I'm from a different area, Northwest, so this is my first time getting to know the information. As such, it is important to note that before I reviewed the records in the binder, I had not seen or heard any information related to this case. I work and oversee students in a different part of the city, which will help me to be fair, impartial, and unbiased today. I have not already made a decision. I have an open mind. I am ready to listen and to consider everyone's perspectives, even if they are very different from each other. As parents, you have the right to make representation regarding the expulsion recommendation. My role is to determine if the expulsion recommendation will be upheld or not. I will be reviewing all the documentation and listening to everyone's statements and answers to my questions. It is important to note that when speaking, you will be addressing me and not to each other.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. This is not a meeting to debate each side. There's no cross-examination. Rather, this is an opportunity for me to hear different sides. Please note that in the course of this meeting, I may be required to adjourn temporarily. If anyone needs a break at any time, then please let me know. Does everybody understand? Thank you. I understand that before we started this hearing, you, Ms. Sue, Mr. Sue and Ms. Huang had an opportunity to review the binder of information privately after Supervisor Orr gave you a brief overview of it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you feel you had enough time to review?
Yes.
Thank you. Are we ready to proceed?
Yes.
So thank you. So I would like to begin. First, we'll hear from Principal McSween as to why she has recommended expulsion. So you could go to the page where it says recommendation for expulsion. Principal McSween. You can just read your
Just read it.
statement. So I'll have Principal McSween read her statement, and then I'll have some questions. I'll write down some questions, and I will give her the ability to answer some of my questions, and then we'll have time for you to share your side. I'll have some questions, be able to answer your questions. Okay, so we'll start with
Alan Sue is a grade 7 student, aged 12 years at St. Monica. His escalating presentation and actions have compromised the safety of students and staff, as well as the climate and culture of the St. Monica school community. My recommendation for expulsion is based upon both school and the Calgary Police Service response, presence, and support, including severe verbal threats and physical posturing, lunging, and throwing branches towards the principal, physical harm towards mom when she came to pick him up, sharing that he hopes another student gets hit by a bus, and had a rock ready to throw at the classroom window. More specifically, I stated in my May 27, 2026 expulsion recommendation letter to Alan's parents, Alan was having a discussion with the principal about an altercation he had the day before. his actions and comments that were shared, and he was upset. Alan proceeded to make several threats towards the principal. I will fucking kill you, I hope you fucking die. You are a bitch, just like my last principal, both bitches. I hope you get hit by a car. If you call my parents, you will not get out of this office without scars, and several other derogatory comments. The principal emailed the secretary to call his mom to pick him up. When his mom showed up to take him home, he ran away from the school. He continued to shout at the principal that he hoped she would die, tried to throw a rock at the school window, and was hitting a nearby business window with his fist. He was running up and down the sidewalks, going into people's yards and breaking branches off trees and throwing them at the principal. Police were called to support the school and mom. Additionally, Alan Sue demonstrated actions and the resulting impact on the safety, well-being, and overall climate of our school community include staff expressing their concern about safety and Alan Sue's presence at the school, the Calgary Police Service's involvement with the incident, compromising the safety and security of staff and students at St. Monica, ongoing disruptive behaviors that are impacting both staff and students, 3 suspensions this year. Further to this recommendation, many school and district supports were extended to Alan Sue throughout his learning. These additional and individual supports includes, but are not limited to, March 18, 2024, the placement at Our Lady of Lourdes. September 2nd, 2025, progression placement at St. Monica Next Steps program. 1 teacher, 1 EA, 1 district wellness worker, program psychologist, program behavior consultant. Academic and socio-emotional supports for learning and regulation, breaking tasks into smaller chunks, providing clear written and verbal instructions, offering choice with
You don't seem to have that part, we have 3 pages?
yeah.
We have only 2.
I will give you a copy of mine. There was 3 in there.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's okay.
No, no, no. No, 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 no.
There we go.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's not like waiting, wait list. Maybe we can start at the top of that page.
Oh, that's it.
Do
Okay.
you want time to read that first?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please, yeah.
Okay, we'll give you some time to read that.
You know what, since this one is actually a pretty important piece that actually was missing during our reviewing the document, I think this is also constitute a very critical part of the entire 3 pages report that Principal Lisa had made. We only reviewed 2 of them, missing the central piece, which we believe might be pretty critical. So we request that we probably should have some time to review it in private.
Sure. We can stop right here.
Oh, yeah, so sorry for,
No,
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
we can stop and then we'll give you time. Take your time and we can reconvene.
thank
Okay?
you.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Sorry, but well, can we probably double check that this is the only one and probably there will be no other missing, otherwise
We can. When I went through the binder with you, all of the documents were in it, but we can most definitely go through it again.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, as long as this is the only one, it's okay,
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
want to
keep
go
stopping.
into like
Absolutely.
repeating it again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yêu này à? Yêu một cái ngọt.
you just let us know when you're ready, and we're just out here.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful.
No, please don't apologize.
Sorry.
Sorry,
No
sorry,
problem.
yeah.
I want you guys to have the most time to review. Put the recorder back on. Pretty good.
And then just skip to the pavilion. Would you
Yeah.
like consideration?
So start from the second page. Or do you want her to start from the beginning?
No, I think,
No.
well, maybe we can just, because we're already
Yeah.
to read it, we don't,
Okay,
sorry.
go
for-
start from the
Yeah,
second
yeah,
page.
yeah. We can skip the second page and maybe we'll go to the third page. because
Okay,
we're
but you hadn't finished the.
No.
Yeah, so why don't you do the second page?
Okay.
That way we have it,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Good, good to go.
Further to this recommendation, many school and district supports were extended to Alan Sue throughout his learning. These additional and individualized supports include, but are not limited to, March 18, 2024, placement at Our Lady of Lourdes, September 2nd, 2025, progression placement at St. Monica Next Steps program, one teacher, one educational assistant, one district wellness worker, program psychologist, program behavior consultant, academic and socio-emotional supports for learning and regulation, breaking tasks into smaller chunks, providing clear written and verbal instructions, offering choice within assignments when appropriate, rewards, ramen and bubble tea, choice of book classes to attend in person, integration, choice of preferred activities, school-based learning team supports, teacher, wellness worker, and EA, adult check-in, check-out at start and end of day. Prior to the recommendation for expulsion on Monday, June 1st, 2026, Alan Sue demonstrated a pattern of aggressive dysregulated behaviors. We have implemented the district's progressive discipline policy to address these behaviors. Specifically, these demonstrative behaviors resulted in 3 suspensions and a verbal transportation incident report that included the following. January 16, 2026, suspension. Alan began to punch and kick a peer after the peer took his Tupperware off his desk. Alan also threw the glass Tupperware at the peer, kicked doors and walls in the school, and made threats to beat up the other student after they had been separated. February 3rd, 2026, verbal incident report given by school bus driver referencing Alan's increasing dysregulation with a student on the bus. February 11th, 2026, suspension. Alan made threats of violence towards other students and staff members, stating that he would punch, beat up, and hit over the head with a chair. Alan threatened to tear the office apart, pull the alarm, and repeatedly kicked and punched glass windows at the front entrance of the school and in the DLCT office. He had to be stopped by the school support worker from entering his classroom after saying he intended to beat up 2 classmates and school staff. May 26, 2026, suspension leading to recommendation for expulsion. clearly shows an escalation in intensity and severity of this threatening behavior. This escalation caused an erosion in the sense of safety and security at St. Monica School. It is important to note that the Calgary City Police have been involved in this case. As principal, it is my responsibility and duty of care to all members of the community, students and staff alike, to ensure that I am employing all measures in achieving safety and security for all, as well as establishing a positive, engaging learning environment. As I navigated the situations, it confirmed my concerns surrounding Alan Sue and the detrimental impact that he had on the St. Monica School community. After I had recommended expulsion, I received a victim assistance support team letter from the Calgary Police Service, which had the police case number of this event on it, offering me support from the impact as a victim of the event that occurred on May 26, 2026 at St. Monica School. I believe that the expulsion of Alan Sue is appropriate and necessary. The decision is to recommend expulsion is not only guided by the outlined concerns above, but furthermore due to my commitment to ensuring that Alan Sue gain awareness and deeper appreciation for the seriousness of his actions, establishes new positive and appropriate relationships with students in his peer groups, receive appropriate counseling and community support to understand his contributions to the community and their impact, be provided with an environment that allows him to focus on academic success and safety. On May 25th, 2026, I received and acknowledged a written apology from Alan, and it is my hope and intention that Alan Sue recommended expulsion will allow him a fresh start where he will learn the necessary skills to allow himself to thrive in a new learning environment safely.
Thank you. So I have some questions for Principal Lisa McSween. So I will ask her. You can take notes if there's something you disagree with or you want to say. Take notes, and then when it's your turn, then you can share those notes and those concerns as well. Okay. Good. So thank you, Ms. McSween. Can you share with me, so Alan came in, this is his first year in September, he came in, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Into grade 7?
Yeah.
From our lady of Lourdes?
Yes.
Yeah. Had you had previous contact with him before?
No, we did a meet and greet, I would say probably in the end of May, June.
Yeah.
Just as he transitioned, so we could see the classrooms, that was it.
And how many kids in his class?
Right now, 4, there was 5, but currently 4.
And he's got a full-time, 1 teacher, 1 educational assistant, and a wellness worker for that class?
Yes.
For 4, no more EAs, just.
No, so a full-time EA, full-time wellness worker and a teacher, and for 4 students.
And then access to a program psychologist, so we swap in.
Yeah, so we share a behavior consultant within the district, and then a program psychologist from Lourdes comes over frequently.
How long would you see those 2 people with consultants in, like, once a month, once a week?
Probably weekly, in the beginning, few months of the year. Typically, we see our behavior psychologist twice a month, if not more. And our behavior consultant was over almost daily for the month of September. And she frequents the classroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that Alan had a good start to the year?
Yes.
He did. It was a good transition.
Yeah.
When did you start seeing, we talked about escalations. Maybe describe a little bit of what that looked like to you.
If it's not a preferred task, or if he sees what he shares as an injustice.
Yeah.
So to try to explain, like, both students keep your hands to yourself. I would say something to you and I would say something to you. Doesn't always recognize both sides of something and escalates quickly if that happens.
And what seems to work to bring him down? Like, is he having somebody, like he's got a teacher there,
Mr. Gillis did some coverage in there, and Miss
Oh,
Abella, yes, so
oh.
Mr. Gillis was in there for 6 weeks. He,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not his,
no,
teacher.
but he still, Mr. Gillis took over the program complexity, so he does have a relationship with Mr. Gillis.
okay.
To be honest, this was quite escalated. No one at this time around could get him down, and I think that was quite scary. Typically, this has happened 3 times, like the 3 suspensions, but it goes from like upset to quite severe in the uttering threats, quickly.
So Catherine Abella, is she on leave? Or
She's back now.
okay.
Yeah,
How long was she on leave?
6 weeks, I believe. Yeah, and so Mr. Gillis was there the whole time, except I think maybe 5 weeks.
Did you notice a change in his temperament with some of these changes of teachers? Like,
No, he really did like Mr. Gillis. I'm in the room every day, sometimes several times a day. Not all students really get along with Mr. Gillis. In fact, like when I leave the building, I say to Mr. Gillis, can you check in on the class, because now he's in the classroom beside. He has a great rapport with all the students.
but he's not the teacher.
No, Miss Abella is, and she's back now.
But
Yeah.
Mr. Gillis took over for her.
Yes.
Now Mr. Gillis is gone.
No, he's in the next classroom as a program complexity teacher.
Okay, you were able to keep Mr.
So I
Gillis.
was able to keep him. The next day is when we got the allocation of a program complexity.
Okay.
But because he's familiar with the students,
Yep.
he's just like that one extra adult that the kids do quite relate to, and is usually able, if they are escalated. Alan, as far as my understanding, has always got along with him quite well, and Mr. Gillis is able to calm him down. Yeah.
How's the relationship with Alan and Miss Abella?
As far as I know, it's good. He's
Okay.
usually respectful when I'm around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how he escalated to, I will fucking kill you, I hope you fucking die, and you would have been, had you heard that kind of language from him before? Like,
The previous 2 suspensions, I was out of the building both times at family of school meetings, so I had not witnessed it myself. And in fact, when I did see it, I was like, I don't understand how this is coming out of Alan. Because typically, he goes to class.
Yeah.
Every now and then, there's a little, you can't tell us what to do, talk back, but never to this extent. This particular day, do you want me to share the event? So the previous day, I had not been around, and him and another student got into an altercation. And 3 of them originally were playing around, and Alan and this other student don't care for each other much, and it seemed to kind of snap pretty quick. So it was shared that.
and this other student is one of the 4 in the
Yes,
class?
yes. So this other student thought they were playing, because as it was witnessed that they were laughing, and then it stopped laughing. And then the other student put his hand on Alan. Alan went to move it and scratched him. In the process of then walking to the bus at the end of the day, Alan shared in front of Miss Kate, who's our wellness worker, that if he gets in trouble for removing the other student's hand and scratching him and gets suspended, he would put me in a blender and blood and flesh would be on the ground. So Miss.
And when he shared that with Kate,
Mhm.
was it just a natural, or was it kind of like a giggling laugh?
No, he was
But
he
it
was
like a-
upset. So he was upset that this happened with a student, and so Miss Kate was walking him to the bus saying like, not okay at all, right?
Yeah.
So the next day, I said, you know, I wanna have a conversation with both students. And so when
So
Alan.
this was the next day?
Yeah, so this happened at the end.
Time
and
to
then-
calm down.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, so, and he came into my office with Miss Kate,
Yeah,
and he just was like, it wasn't my fault. And I said, okay, like, just, you know, we'll start from the beginning, so kind of explained what happened. And he's like, I didn't say that about you, I didn't say that about you, and I'm like, you know what, at this point, let's table that. Gonna let it go. Not appropriate, but like, you know, heat of the moment, whatever. Not excusing it, but I'm just gonna say, we just need to keep our hands to ourselves. Which, pretty reasonable, and I said, like, I'm not saying.
did you bring him to the office to do this?
Yeah, him and Miss Kate came to the office.
Okay.
And so I said, like, it's, no one's, like, we're just saying, you keep your hands to yourself and the other student keep your hands to yourself. And he kept saying, no, it's all his fault, it's all his fault. And I said, but we never put our hands on each other. So if he puts his hands on you, then you go to an adult. And there's enough adults in that room. If you put your hands on him or the other student, he needs to go find an adult. We just don't put our hands on each other. And then it just exploded.
In your office?
In my office. And so he kicked the garbage can, and then he just,
Did you threaten you were gonna suspend?
no, didn't even mention suspension.
Did you say you're gonna phone
No.
dad?
No. So, he started, you know, with all the comments, and I just said, I'm not interacting with this.
Like, what do you think pushed, like, what?
I don't know.
You don't-
I just, like, I think it was that you're both at fault, because you both put your hands on each other, but I don't know, because the only thing I uttered was, you just need to keep your hands to yourself. There was no, I'm calling mom or dad, there was no suspension, and like I said, the language of being in the blender, I said, we're not even talking about that.
So you didn't even address?
No, I said it's not appropriate, but I said, I'm not getting it, like, I didn't hear it, I'm letting it go. But we can't put hands on each other, ever, for any reason. And it scared me because I've never seen it firsthand. And so, you know, sometimes there will be some curses or like, you're a bitch, but never the like, I hope you die, like anything like that. And so I was at my computer, and my desk is here, and Alan was here, and Miss Kate was here, and like, he just kind of went over my desk and was like 2 fingers in my face and was like, fuck you, you bitch, I hope you fucking die, kicked my garbage can, and I just sat there and I just started typing, because
Were you scared? Yeah. He's not a big guy.
He's not a big guy. I was uneasy because Miss Kate was like, Alan, like, I've never seen this side of him to that extent. Like, I've read the suspension reports, when I was out. I've never seen this side of him. And so I emailed our front office and I said, can you please call mom right away, and she needs to come. Because I thought, even if this de-escalates, I don't know how he's gonna be in the classroom.
And what was Kate doing?
Kate just sat there and she's like, listen, we're being very reasonable right now. Like, so she was a little uneasy because, again, he was so escalated, and it just like, I hope you fucking die, you're a bitch like my last principal, you're both bitches, I dare you to call my parents, you'll not walk out of here without scars. Like, it was, and then he would stop, and then he's like, okay, like, so what are we gonna do about this? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, do you recall what you just said to me? And so then I continued typing, and at this time they had called mom, and mom said she was on her way. Mr. Gillis was in the office and heard Alan screaming at me, so he had come in just to say, like, is everything okay? And at the same time, mom showed up. And when Alan saw mom, he's like, nope, and ran right out of the office, out of the school, up the sidewalk. And so I grabbed my radio, phones, and Mr. Gillis and Miss Kate ran after him. Mom and I followed up the sidewalk across the street. he was in someone's driveway, and just like, get away from me, I hate you, you're a bitch, and so then he was breaking branches off, and then he kind of charged at me, and Mr. Gillis stood in front of me, and Mom basically like jumped on him to stop him, trying to calm him down, and he had punched
Do you
Mom.
think if Mom, when Mr. Gillis wasn't there, do you think he would attack you?
Oh, 100%, yeah. And because he was hitting Mom quite, like Mom had some red marks on her chest. So I took a step back to try not to upset him more, but also trying, like there was cars, grad was going on, like it was busy. So to try to protect the perimeter, and he was still yelling and he was throwing branches. Miss Kate and Al, or Mr. Gillis, were following him up the sidewalk while Mom and I were kind of at the back. He was yelling at both of us. So he went up and around the corner, and that's when Mr. Gillis said, and Miss Kate said there's a building, a business, he was banging on the windows. Then I was just kind of watching, and again, trying not to get him more flustered, but stay back. And then one of our students came, who's also in his program, and Alan saw him and ran across the street. He's like, do you want to fucking get her? Do you want to fucking get her with me? And the student's like, what? Like, what? No. Referring to me. And so, Miss Kate said he also asked him, like, to get the other student from the previous day.
Is he almost like in a different trance? Or is he just similar to like what you see there?
No.
Or is it's almost a different
he was
personality?
It was like almost like an outer body experience. It was, I've never seen him like that, me personally.
Now how long have you been working for Tucker Family?
23 years.
And I hate to compare, but have you ever seen and experienced something
No.
similar?
No. I've had a lot of programs, I've done everything K to 12. I've not witnessed this. I think too, when Mom came, Mom wasn't able to bring him down. The wellness worker wasn't. So when he had picked up a rock, Mom yelled something at him to the point where the other student actually said, you need, Miss McSween, tell that teacher not to yell at Alan. And I said, oh, that's not a teacher, that's his mom. And he's like, oh. But Mr. Gillis and Miss Kate were over there and said he had the rock up to put to the window. He didn't throw it. And at that point I called 911.
The window of the school? Or
Yeah, a grade 7 classroom was in there. And then at that point I called 911 and 3 officers came about 10 minutes later.
So they never saw it?
No, but they saw, like, they tried to engage, he wouldn't talk to them, and then he ran up the sidewalk. We have kind of a little alcove where he went in there. And then I stayed back, talked to the police officers. Mom was kind of back and forth. They saw the red marks on Mom's chest. They kind of got our statement. I know Miss Kate shared, like, when he was in the alcove, and Mr. Gillis shared that he was still saying comments like that. It's just like he just could not, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm looking through the suspension, it's just more curiosity.
Yeah.
It's February 11th incident, or February 18th. Just curious, like, only a 2-day suspension. I just, it sounded there's a lot of similarities, and I just out of.
So he is in a program, and we do try to take account for that. You know, we want to see students succeed. We try to put everything in place for students to succeed. But we know every now and then something will happen. Now this was, like I said, Mom did have to be called for this. I was at a family of schools meeting, and Ms. Simons, our VP, was dealing with it. I did get a call that he had run away from the school, mom was called, pretty serious event. We went back and forth, again, mom was able to take him home a little bit easier. There wasn't, although, like, the comments are there, that it wasn't out into the community as much, not as many people involved, so we went with 2 days.
So when you say ongoing disruptive behaviors that are impacting both students and staff, is that just those 3 suspensions, or is there
So-
other events that you can tell them that there's a pattern? Like, there's a pattern there, and from January, it's funny, like, nothing happens from September to January, and then all of a sudden January, I don't know what happened after the holidays.
So we only know what is shared with us, which nothing's been shared that like, oh, he's on new medication,
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
nothing like
yeah,
that
yeah,
we're aware of.
Yeah.
And I will go up in the classroom sometimes and, you know, be like, hey, why aren't you going to integration? Because I don't want to. Or like, nothing to this extent. So, you know, he has been good going to integration, he's capable, and then it's kind of like a slippery slope of like, no, I'm not going to integration. Why are you so, like, why do you get on his case? Like, just stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm not having this conversation with you, but nothing to this extent, but the kind of the talking back,
Yeah.
you can't make me go to class, you can't make me do this.
So that's more normal.
Just, it's been picking up, but nothing, like I said, nothing to this extent. Him and another student do kind of get at each other, and we separate the other student significantly. And even still, there's comments like, why is this happening? Why does this happen? We've had multiple conversations with, no one ever knows what happens. Like, if there's discipline, consequences, what conversations we have. You know, I don't share to Alan about other students. I don't share to other students about Alan. But he's like, well, I can do this, and they do this, and you don't do anything. But I'm like, you don't know what happens, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of that conversation piece that has to happen frequently. But just, you know, to be in class, and he's like, well, I'm gonna stay with him, and I'm like, no, you can go to class. Well, they're not going to class. It's like, we're each on a different plan. You need to go to class.
Why, like, in a nutshell, if they peel the onion into the middle, why now expulsion?
Well, I worry about the student in the class. I worry about the students that witnessed this. Even the one student who was like, oh, you should get her with me, you should get her with me. Like, he's like, what, like, I'm not doing that. Like, the impact it had, our secretary was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe when he was hitting mom. So we have cameras at the front. She was seeing it on the camera, and she's like, that's so sad. And I don't know if it has been picking up. I worry about what the next one is going to look like. And I have to think of, like, I want what's best for Alan. I want him to succeed, but I also have 430 other students and staff that I need to think about.
So here I got climate and culture. Is that kind of, you feel you've said enough about that, like the effect of climate and culture?
Yeah, I mean, like, I even think, so when they were waiting to see me in the office, I was in the Learning Commons welcoming an elder.
Yeah.
And I talked to one of the students, and he's like, no, I'm talking to you. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I wasn't even talking to you. And it's hard because, like, I have 2 classes in the Learning Commons and an elder and teachers, and he's in the foyer, and, like, I wasn't even talking to him yet. and he's yelling. And so I have to be mindful because then other students are seeing this, right? And I'm constantly saying, you know, we treat each other with dignity and respect. This is not how we talk to each other, to adults. So it does have a huge impact when this is going on.
You said the victim assistance support team. I've never seen a letter from the Calgary. What is that? I received a victim assistance support team letter.
Yeah, so.
Had you seen that before?
No, I received it in the mail. So I guess with what the police had witnessed in the situation,
Yeah.
what I had shared, they went through and filed something,
Yeah.
and then offered me a victim assistance support program that they felt based on what the threats were and what I had witnessed and seen, that I could maybe benefit from that.
Is that like counseling or what is it?
Yeah,
It's counseling.
yeah, they have a bunch of different things, but it's similar to counseling. Yeah.
If I can interject.
Yeah, please, yeah.
The Calgary Police, the Calgary Police Service has many support mechanisms in place, and one of them is the victim support, assistant support team. Within that team, the services of the team are extended to victims, observers, or witnesses to any sort of serious event that a police officer is responding to. And so as such, the three police officers that responded to this must have filed the report indicating that what they had observed would warrant the opportunity for the team to offer their services to Principal Lisa McSweeney. And so the supports that they offer range from community counseling to Calgary Police Service counseling, ongoing and one-time services.
You know, I have 3 boys myself, and we have children, and I feel horrible that it's all negative. But so I'd like to say, like, Alan, what positive things did he bring to the school? What do you like about Alan? What are some?
Well, he was easy up until these events. He comes in, he does his work, he goes to class. Recently, I believe it was actually when Mr. Gillis came, we did brochures. He did one on China, talked about all his favorite foods, what restaurants we should go if we ever go visit. He's inquisitive, he likes to learn.
Sounds like a smart.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential academically. He usually follows instructions and directions, and, you know, we have a big board in the classroom, and it's like, who's going to what class? He responds well. You know, I try to say I'm their snack dealer, giving them positive stuff. His was like, I think, bubble tea and ramen. I'm like, yes, show me the goods, like, you guys get good things, and I will supply the P card to get that.
Does he have friends? Have you seen him have friends? In the...
Not a lot of friends, I would say. He has 2 teachers, I would say Mr. Gillis and Mr. Diebert, who does our science. Incredible teachers, hands-on learning. Mr. Diebert, or Alan, definitely gravitates towards that, and I think they are both strong educators. He also does really well with Miss Gong. They speak the same home language. She does sewing, and so they talk all the time in their home language. She's done sewing with the class, so he has a really good relationship with her. In the class, he does not get along with one student in particular, but the other 3, it's more like a parallel play, like they will talk and interact, but not so much as a friendship. I don't know what happens outside of school. You know, I've been able to have lots of conversations with Alan throughout the year, like, what about this? You should get this. What if we get this? Can you print me off this? He's always, been positive in that manner.
There was a report from, I think, Kat. There was 2 reports from Kat, Kate. I'm
Yeah.
just wondering, there was an impact and then another kind of what happened. So what's the difference? Why did she do 2?
Well,
Your statement of impact.
From what I understand is she is the wellness worker.
Yeah.
So my understanding, she did the account of events of what
Okay.
happened.
That's what we got here. Yeah.
Because she was
Kate Roberts.
with him in some times that I was not beside him, like,
Yeah.
I didn't go around the corner, I kinda went up to the sidewalk, I could still see them, but I wasn't in hands, so I didn't know what he was saying.
Okay.
And then the impact, I think it was more, again, she felt a little uneasy, this is her role to help de-escalate students, and just how that felt in not being able to calm in any manner. It was pretty impactful.
She mentioned, she said she's concerned as Alan has remained fixated on one specific peer,
Yes,
the one we were talking, who
Yeah.
has been the target for all three incidents
yes.
since January 2026.
And that peer is probably out of the classroom 90% of the time. Yeah. So he has worked in a different room almost fully in trying to alleviate some of these tensions. And it can't be moved past, regardless of what we try to do in terms of, each other's role, how we can not like someone but still treat them with respect and kindness. We don't have to be friends with anyone, but we also don't have to because he was wishing like, oh, I hope he gets hit by a bus, I hope this, and this student is younger than him.
Is he tall or big, or is he bigger?
He's probably a little bit taller, yeah, but it cannot step away from the student.
You said you've seen or she has seen a decline in functioning overall in areas such as academics since 2026. Integration, so it's not getting better. You're
No.
not seeing any.
No.
Okay. And if you had to, in your experience in DL, diverse learning, why is it getting worse as a principal?
Honestly, I can't say. I mean, unless there's something that has changed at home or outside that we're not aware of. We have a strong group of teachers in the building. I've had programs, I think, at every school I've been at. We have a great group of teachers that truly support all of our next step students. The ones he does relate to, like even Mr. Diebert, like he stopped going to science as much. And Mr. Diebert, he quite likes his class, does tons of hands-on learning. I'm not sure what's changed.
Or like from a supervisor in your field, do you have any comments on this, or any reflections that you want to share?
I think what's really evident here is what Lisa's illustrated is that we have a young student who entered their school community in grade 7, who entered from Our Lady of Lourdes with skills of hidden practice. And so by him entering into the Fresh Start program, Next Step, I say that all, I apologize. Next Step program, the team at Our Lady of Lourdes felt that he had developed the skills and strategies that were needed in order for him to be re-entered into a school environment that would promote safety and success, academic growth, and social emotional teaching. And I think what Lisa's done is a beautiful job illustrating that this is a young man that is acknowledged for strength. He has some great academic abilities. He is demonstrating that continued momentum of understanding of what it is to be a safe member of a learning community. And then something changed. And we saw from that very first suspension that, and the word decline, but a little bit of a slide that eventually got quite large to the point where we landed in a situation where the dysregulation was so significant that those who are trained, not only with neurodiversity, but also with a mental health perspective and lens, weren't able to regulate the dysregulation when in previous interactions they had been able to. And I think the duration of the incident that occurred on May 26th also outlines with the presence of all the individuals who he has connection to. So Mr. Gillis is someone that we've heard over and over again. It's someone who he gravitates to, although in a short period of time he's developed relationship, and relationship allows for trust. And so for him to trust an adult who wasn't able to, typically who can bring him to a place of greater regulation, not completely regulated, but a greater amount of regulation. Miss Kate, again, being a mental health professional, being a social worker who works each day with him in the classroom, who's typically been able to regulate him, and just saw that the dysregulation, the response and the desire, because there was a moment of such heightened emotion, the emotions were so big he wasn't able to respond, not responding to mom, and then the presence of authority with Calgary Police. Again, that can be a stimulant, that can also create greater dysregulation. But over the length of that hour and a half or 2 hours, seeing that heightened dysregulation increase, seeing the verbal and the physical not being responding to any of the directions of those adults was concerning. And so we've heard numerous times today that from all the individuals who have relationship with him in the school, this was not typical, and what we're concerned is that we're seeing more and more occurrences of this nature, but they're increasing in severity and in volume and length of time.
How long was the incident?
So,
When did it start and when it ended?
it probably started shortly after 9, having the conversation,
Yeah.
and it went till almost 12 o'clock. And police were there for about an hour and a half. And
How many cop cars?
2 cars, 3 police officers. Yeah, and from the time he first got into my office until the time everyone left, it would, I'd say, just over 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So at this time, I would like to pass it to both of you. Yeah.
Before my wife comments, I would like to express my extremely sincere and sympathy and apology to Principal Lisa. To us, this is absolutely unacceptable and scary, given its gravity. You may know that from our East Asian culture, that under which we grow up, we are actually growing up in a very strict and disciplined environment that you probably know, like Asian, like Japanese, Chinese are extremely. Like I totally understand how frustrated Principal Lisa would feel, because from a father's perspective, I couldn't believe this is true. My father was not professor, but a teacher in the teachers college. So when I was in my junior high and high school, three of my teacher out of 10 are actually his students. So I grew up like in a very disciplined environment. So I like Principal Lisa, like when we are expecting the norm should be pretty as boys, we will, when we are students, we always also have some naughty things and cause a lot of trouble to our father, but had never ever to this kind of magnitude. So like from our family, we had like multiple times, like hey, how could this be our son? How could we
Is this your only son, or do you have another?
Only son. Like how could this be our son? Like we are from such a disciplined environment. So how could this happen? So like even like principal had nothing, had no authority to beat the shit out of him. So
Yeah, no,
I had to swear. Sorry, guys,
Yeah,
I swear.
Even in our internal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so.
but here, it's not.
So
it's not
yeah,
like-
so for so many times, even at home, I really want to like beat the shit out of him. Sorry to swear, but like this is reflecting how I feel, how I the same level of frustrated as Principal Lisa, and my wife. Fortunately, my wife give me a very good guidance. So, yeah, in Asia this is unacceptable, but in Canada, in North America, you have to adapt to the environment. Let alone like beat the shit out of him, like even like smack him. So we have to like yeah we I feel like if you may feel I'm as parents we are kind of like confrontational. We apologize for that. We never ever want to be confrontational with the school. We are on the same page that we want success. We want to get the best out of him so that he could grow up normally and exert his potential. In this very specific environment, like for those like defiance activity, they had not only show to you but also show to us. I was even more crazy than Principal. Principal had not could not smack him. I want to smack him, but I can't because this is Canada. So I was so angry, but we need to adapt to it. So actually, I had also kind of like adopted the philosophy of like structural kind of support or care when he entered into such a insane mode or like irrational mode. So in that, I like the school system had developed a wonderful safety plan and kind of like the escalation plan so that have a very professional structure support and intervention for him, which turned to be extremely effective. Like when in OL the almost 2 years had no documented issues, let alone like any suspension. And I believe that like from his entering in September last year in St. Monica till like January, actually we had like for those years we had always seeing like the happy teachers, even happy Principal Lisa with him. Like for that change, we also feeling that kind of like hard to swallow. But from my perspective, from the father, especially like mother, would probably like when I couldn't help trying to smack him. How could this be my son? My wife stopped me, and then we had to like calm down. No matter how frustrated I am, no matter how angry I am, I have to adopt that this is a son with mental, I don't want to say disability, but it's mental issues that probably like it's not his true wish to want to be dead. So I think the effectiveness is extremely good. So I learned from the structural support and intervention from the school. The CSSD had been practicing on him at home. Actually, it had worked out like pretty good. So that's I want to convey my deepest, most sincere empathy and apology to Principal Lisa for all those unacceptable behaviors. Yeah, so we want to assure you that we don't really want to like define you in the direction that this activity, this behavior is absolutely unacceptable. We are totally on the same page. We are also totally on the same page that we want that we can correct him the right direction, the right way, so that he can go back to like to the expectation of what we want. And we also even more want that there have been more than 2 years, or probably 3 already now, that the tremendous resources, the tremendous monetary input, the numbers, like we want to really be appreciative and grateful for the work like Principal Lisa, Principal Ryan in OL, all the teachers in OL, all the teachers and social workers and consultants in St. Monica's School. We want to be appreciative and grateful for those. So we are on the same page that we don't want to let them down. We don't want to let the resources, their endeavor have already put in correcting Alan down the drain. So yeah, so I really want to, like, before my wife start, I want to like express my, and probably I believe that will also reflecting my Christina's smile or what her mind, yeah. So really apologize for his behavior, and we are truly sorry for the hurt or yeah, the hurt that may have brought to you. So sorry for that.
Thank you.
So I will start our statement, and then we prepare a submission package and to review Alan's history, and then the incident, and then because as parents we also want to know why it happened and how we can help him. And yeah, so just like my husband said, as Alan's parents, we fully acknowledge that the incident was serious and concerning, and we understand his language, phrase, and behavior is inappropriate and unacceptable. So here we do not seek to excuse his actions, and then and we recognize the impact that this incident may have on the school staff and the student and the community. But at the same time, we respectfully ask this incident be considered with the contents of Alan's documented disability-related needs and his history of behavior support and the significant progress he has made through the intervention guidance. Because just when I met with Jennifer, I told her that I remember her because it's her brought Alan to the behavior intervention program of OLOL, and then we see him have a big growth and make very good progress there. So I will start the session 2 part is his background and information. We're sorry to say that he is diagnosed with ADHD. He's smart, he's intelligent, and he's also hardworking. His biggest problem is his behavior and how to say the emotion direction. This is how we continue work with the school, with the psychologist, and with the social worker on it. And then you already have it as his diagnosis. And then
I know that Dr. Dawn. My children went to Dr. Dawn.
oh really?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yes. Because
Very good. Very
yeah,
good.
Yeah. Okay. And then in Alan spent part of his grade 5 and the full year grade 6 in OLOL, where he really had a very successful year.
So you really liked Our Lady of Lourdes. You found that was very good for him.
Yes, because I think that the how to say that
The OLOL actually have been I'm not saying like St. Monica is,
Oh.
St. Monica is great.
Yes, yes.
OL is good, that probably like the first filter. They provide a very good correction. And as we have communicate with the staff, OL told us that the critical part for their success is systematically and consistently and timely implemented structural support and intervention. Yeah, so those would be the key for it, and they kind of told us that they will pass on this secret for probably to St. Monica and to the subsequent school. So like OL, I think like the structural support mechanism or mechanism is actually turned out to be not only successful or effective in the school setting, but also in our family setting. It's like I share it with you, like I totally understand. At that moment, I so much I want to beat the shit out of him. Yeah, so almost like my wife is saying, like, if you beat him, that you're going to jail. So I had no choice but to calm myself down and say, hey, oh, this is our son. He's with mental disability. That I have to like follow this one, no matter how hard I feel and how frustrated I did. I wasn't there to tell even like his grandpa, my father, about this. If had my dad know about like how dysregulated him, he would beat the shit out of me. So so I really so sorry about I totally understand and express my sympathy and apology for his unacceptable behavior, and that impact could have to you. Yeah. Have you finished?
I just want to, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I want to say in OLL, we can see that he demonstrates ability. I mean, Alan, he has the ability to respond positively to structural support and intervention. That's to be honest speaking, we haven't received any suspension from OLL. And then, yes, of course, he has some hiccups from the school, but usually we will receive the call after school, and then Mr. D, the behavior teacher, will communicate with us his behavior in school, and then tell us how to work with him, how to talk to Alan, and then to manage his emotion and behavior. Yes, and then the third part is about his long-term progress. I'm sorry to say that just before the incident, we already have a meeting with Principal Lisa and
Rycroft.
area director Deanne, about that. Alan is ready to begin transition back to the regular school. I will have it attached. The email is attached there. It's just the day before the incident.
Oh, the day
Yes.
before the incident.
Yes. And then
Actually, less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
yes.
And you would like to see them back into traditional setting?
Because I think that I know I talked to you is how we can have the our job as parents is not, we are not pursuing only the academic success. Of course, I have to say that Alan has shown his potential there, but the most important part is that how we can help the kid to become socialized, because he cannot always stay in the very small place, and then with people, and then there are annoying people around. But we need to help him to prepare him
Get used to the real world.
to the real world.
Yeah, he
So
can't-
we
he can't,
keep working
forever-
on that. Yes.
Yeah, he
yes.
can't always be cute in the bubble.
Yes, but of course, it's step by step. It's like that. We need to give him structure, guidance, and then let him how to digest his negative emotion, and then not do the aggressive behavior, something like that. And then we also include the report card. Of course, it's already included in St. Monica, and his LSP to show what is his strength and areas for growth, and then and the LSP also says that he learns fast when he's structured, encouraged, and clear guidance, something like that. And then he's still working on the emotion deregulation part. Yeah. And then how to help him on that. And then it's about this incident, and I think I pass it to Abby yeah, because we also include combine it with the incident, so you can digest the session 4 and session 5 together.
Yeah, so I probably can supplement it. The evidence from we have compiled from Alan's
Sir, does anyone need a break? Are we good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, good. So continue, sir.
Yeah, the evidence from Alan's history demonstrates that to respond positively and predictably to structure supports, when those mandate frameworks are consistently and timely implemented, Alan actually thrives and meets all behavioral expectations, and is fully capable of being educated within a regular school environment. So that's demonstrated by his behavior in track record in St. Monica January this year. And then also would like to draw the attention that the weight of the May 25th assessment. So there's actually a critical administration fact that on May 25th, less than 24 hours before this incident, the school administration and the area director, so Lisa and Dean actually jointly evaluate Alan's progress and formally confirmed in writing that he was fit and ready to transit back to regular class setting. We respectfully submit that this official assessment, which is based on months of professional observation and data, must be given significant weight. It is educationally and legally non-proportional to allow one single incident of verbal escalation under extreme stress to completely override months of documented progress and invalidate the district's own recent professional judgment. So although we definitely believe that those the behavior on May the 26th is unacceptable, but I want to bring more facts into a holistic consideration framework to you. Also and as we know that the judgment have probably been pretty much shaken as the incident on May the 26th happened. So yeah, just like what the principal Lisa had been shocked, I'm shocked, and Christina has shocked too. So I just want to not as accusing anybody, just the medical have the M&M meeting, so it's not to blame anyone, but we just want to dissect or dig into the details to see what can be done better in order to prevent things from happening again, or kind of helping things back on track. So if we have a dive into the event happened on May the 26th, actually the evidence on the record, including the school's own contemporaneous notes, show two completely distinct operational phases. So phase one is escalation that happened from the moment Alan arrived at school regularly. According to school wellness worker K. Roberts' report, that is on the package. It is said that he was initially observed to be low energy, head down, no chatting. However, he's often sleepy first thing. Over the next almost 2 hours, he escalated into a state of severe dysregulation. The manner in which the situation was managed during this phase raised legitimate questions regarding whether Alan's established safety plan and structural intervention were properly implemented. Instead of utilizing specialized clinic support, he was subject to a prolonged high stress interaction with administration. Yet, even in his highlighting state, Mrs. Roberts' note showed that Alan was actively asking to move forward, apologizing for threats, saying he was joking, attempt to de-escalate, that were unfortunately omitted from principal's recommendation report. And also based on Alan's own description of what happened on that day, was also that he had tried to regulate himself by walking out of the office to time out or kind of like calm down. He does a bit calm down a bit until he was brought back to the principal's office again. So again, I want to highlight or emphasize that we are just doing some like M&M meeting kind of like dissection, not trying to bring anyone. It just want to like go through the facts that would help us develop better strategy in the future. So, and then then we can look into phase two, the escalation. So once Alan exit the building, the school's specialized educator, complexity program teacher, Mr. Alan Gillis, and wellness worker, Mrs. Kate Robert, step in. They systematically implement a textbook application of structure, support, and de-escalation protocols. As a direct result, Alan rapidly self-regulates. According to Mr. Gill's notes in the package, confirmed that simply talking to Alan one-on-one in a clove allowed him to explain his rigid recognitive loop regarding an earlier altercation, and he calmed down a bit. Furthermore, Mrs. Kate Roberts' note also showed that CPS handled the situation with extreme education, no sensitivity, with an officer sitting calmly beside Alan in the vehicle approximately 40 minutes. The incident concluded peacefully, with Alan returning home safely. The sharp contrast between these two phases prove that when proper intervention are deployed, Alan self-regulates. When they are absent or bypassed, he deregulates. So just from like M&M meetings philosophy, we are not trying to like bring anybody, but want to like find out a best solution for such setting and the best way for Alan. So considering like the very contrast distinction between the two phases, saying like we can probably like kind of believe or infer that Alan is actually receptive, positively receptive to timely and consistently structural support and intervention. So that would probably have to say like expulsion, therefore, is not the only reasonable response. Also, also I want to like stress that all our expression or representation is also just like a medical and everything. We don't want to blame anyone. We are not accusing anyone. We are just want to go through all the facts to see what can we do
Yeah.
better to
Yeah.
optimize, right?
Mhm.
So here, there's another piece is proportionality, impact, and administrative consistency. So this leads to the fundamental legal requirement of administrative consistency and proportionality. Within the current school year, this very institute has a documented precedent where an incident involved actual severe physical violence, specifically a student punching a senior administrator, resulting in real property damage. The district exercised actually discretion to impose short-term suspension of fewer than 5 days with no recommendation for expulsion. In Alan's case, there was zero physical impact on school staff, zero injury, and zero property damage. Furthermore, the Harvey police actually had explicitly stated there would be no criminal charges. So with Alan's verbal while we believe that his verbal conduct is absolutely unacceptable and serious enough that we need to pay special attention to, but applying the absolute maximum penalty of permanent expulsion represent a clear and non-proportional double standard that cannot withstand the scrutiny of an administrative appeal or judicial review. There's another part is deconstructing the clinical needs over punishment. As a public body, the district has a duty to ensure that the expulsion is truly a measure of last resort. This is heavily enforced by Mrs. K. Roberts' impact statement, which is in the package, which framed the incident not as a malicious misconduct, but as a child struggling with mental health and in crisis. Mrs. K. Robert correctly identified that Alan's deregulation stemmed from a fragile, painful core belief are not important. Most importantly, on page 2 of her report, she notes, I worry that Alan Su, AS, has not had enough time to practice new skills, strategies, so he is comfortable with feelings, using coping strategies, and seeking support. Even the school's own clinical staff explicitly worry that Alan simply needs more time to practice in his coping skill. This aligns perfectly with Constable's independent recommendation that perhaps the family is in need of some help. We submit that the challenge identified can be fully, safely, and legally mitigated through progressive alternative measures, including comprehensive revision and stricter monitoring of Alan's mandatory safety plan within a specialized program. Second, a formal binding behavioral contract signed by the student, family, and the administration. Third, an enhanced step-by-step gradual reintegration framework. The availability of standard district intervention prove that Alan is actually receptive to timely and structurally and properly implemented structural support and intervention. So that would also prove that the permanent expulsion is neither necessary nor justified. And And lastly, supplemental credibility and reliability concerns. Finally, as a supplemental matter, we must know that zero factual inaccuracy and consistency that had arisen in the school's administration's communication over the past month alone. That include non-factual written assertion regarding the timeline of Ellen's baptism reminding record, unsubstantiated claim in the recommendation report, and an expected failure to fulfill administrative promise in the suspension letter to offer our family an opportunity to discuss the decision. Furthermore, we raise this concern not to criticize individual, but because this pattern of non-factual assertion directly impact our confidence and most impact this hearing's confidence in the reliability of the narrative being relied upon for this extreme recommendation. So our concluding statement would be: we are not asking you to excuse Ellen's behavior. We definitely concur and on the same page as Principal Lisa that this is unacceptable. We must find a way for him to correct it and on the right track. So we are asking whether the evidence before you support the catastrophic conclusion that a permanent expulsion is necessary. Given that Ellen has demonstrated significant long-term progress, recent met the district's reintegration criteria on May the 25th and responds successfully to specialized structured supports. A decision to sustain this expulsion carries immense procedural and legal risks under the standard of strict correctness. The only rational, legally defensible and educational sound decision on the record today is to reject the recommendation for expulsion, reinstate Ellen, and direct the implementation of enhanced alternative supports, giving him the exact time to practice that his educator, like Kate and Mr. G, agree that he needs. Yeah, so thank you very much, and we again have to emphasize that we are not trying to excuse or alter the gravity and severity of his behavior. We express deepest sympathy and apology to Principal Lisa, and but now we probably want to, as a more holistic perspective, to see what is the best solution to bring Ellen onto the right track.
So if the best could happen for Alan, what would that look like for you?
Sorry, can you say that?
If the best could happen for Alan, what would that look like?
We definitely want that he
Back at St. Monica, or back at St. Bridget, or back at Our Lady of Lourdes, or what would that
That's
look like?
actually exactly what we would like to discuss with you here in
I
this setting.
think the place is not important. It's whether he can get the structure
The help.
support
Yeah.
from the school.
That's what you,
Yes.
so it doesn't matter where, it's the structure that he needs.
Yes,
Yeah.
And you
because
felt he was most successful in an environment
that we can get the
that you can get that.
structure, yes, yeah, because if they can, here we bring the safety plan here, and then highlight the triggers, and then the physical response plan,
Yeah.
and then I'm sorry to say that sure, no defense, but no offense, but still we want to we review the whole situation, why it happened, because just like we mentioned that he had some hiccups in January and February, but all good until May the 25th. And then why it happened, and then we review it. Unfortunately, we find some triggers in it, but because I arrived in the school at around 10:15, so
You felt you didn't see the triggers.
I didn't see the triggers, but I think
Again, those triggers, I know you shared, what would be 2 or 3 of those triggers that you feel are, that
actually,
you see all the time at home, or when he escalates?
yeah, I want to say that I didn't. We reviewed the whole progress with Alan, the incident with Alan as much as possible, and he told me. So we summarized the triggers of it, but we want to know that because we want to, you know, that what we want is that we don't want the incident to escalate, but we would want to know that what the school has done to de-escalate before I arrive is from 8:30 to 10:15. This is a long time, and then we want the school or to tell us because in the action plan it lists out some.
So maybe when I move to Lisa, she
Yeah,
has
yeah, yeah.
closing comment,
Mhm.
maybe she can answer that.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Kind
This
of
is
what that morning, and
mhm.
how did you de-escalate, and what were some tactics of de-escalation?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so that's a question you want to know.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've got a few questions.
Yes, please.
Okay. Sir, you speak of if you had your way, physical aggression would help them. Do you feel like, you talk about you beat the shit out of them? Is that a way that you feel has been successful for?
No, totally no.
No,
Because
okay.
this is not Asia anymore. This is a Canada.
But
This
if
is
we were,
North
do
America.
you feel,
There's
if
no,
we were in Asia,
that's,
that he would be
I
a
wish-
normal, do you think there wouldn't be any issues with Alan, and because, more
You
like
know
a
what?
corporal
this is
punishment?
this is a question in Seoul, in Seoul
Yeah.
echoes.
Mhm.
I asked myself so many times in my life, like over the past few years, how could this be my son? My wife is a typical teacher's pet. I, of course, as boys, would have some naughty, but never ever close to this kind of direct relation. So I asked myself so many times, if we hadn't got to Canada, would it be a different Alan? Or would it be myself, like, yes, naughty, but not this.
Yeah.
Like at least he had respect for the authority. He had not authority like the teacher, for the peers, for the sense of boundary. Like because now
I just wanna, I don't wanna delve into that, because I need just to say on record as a school district and Canada, and the studies that we've seen, but that might mask it for a period of time. But in the end, we just believe that the trauma and the hurt continues and actually gets worse. So we don't believe in that philosophy. So we feel there's a deeper sense, and so anyways, I don't want to get into an argument of physical harm, and does that help kids get in line. It's just, I just need to say on record that we don't believe in that, and that's something that we practice.
Oh, you mean that
Well, you gave an impression that if you were in China, and that you could beat him in submission,
no,
that he would be fine.
No, I mean, like, this is a thing that we can never verify, because there's no way that we can go back 10 years ago and then make a different change.
Yeah.
But here is
I just
Canada.
wanted to, because you did speak of that, I just.
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to speak
So
to
this is
that.
Canada,
Yeah.
so we have to respect the rules, the norms here.
Yeah.
So we have to play by this rule.
Yeah, I want to answer that because we need, as parents, we need to accept that Alan is diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can with my psychologist about that, and she told me that usually the kids with ADHD, their mental, they are, how to say that, their brain develops a bit slower, and then they have more, and they have, we do not know, but there's some noise in their head. So that's why we need to help him to get into the structured environment, to give more time, patience to him, to help him to how to say, to better develop his emotion regulation.
Yeah.
And then that is we really appreciate that the CSSD provides a great support to us for such a long time. And then we do see the progress he has made so far. Yes.
Have you ever, like, I see for Dr. Long, have you thought of seeing him again and looking at medication at all? Or is that something
we
that
have
you?
we have the medication and also, but I think that we also have the psychologist. So when we talk with the psychologist, another psychologist at that time is also included here in around 2023, and then we discuss about this, and then they tell us that we need to try to give him the structure, guidance or support, and then actually we do see the progress he made from the time in OL. Even in St. Monica, I still want to say, of course there's no how to say, we don't want to say, oh, it's totally accident, something like that, no, but we want to say that actually he has already made a lot of progress, and I can kindly explain the question you just asked Lisa about why he explode on that day. Actually, just in in case report about that you mentioned before about he remained the exit on one specific PM.
Yeah.
And then this is how the first is all his suspension have to do with this kid. And then this kid keep provoking. I have to say that every kid in the class, and we also communicated with Lisa on the first suspension. Yes, because we already informed that, oh, we saw that, and then because the suspension letter, because every time we see the suspension letter, it's not what he did, it's why and how it happened.
Yeah.
So we have a very long talk. You can have it because yes, because we want to let you know that what happened in this and this kid.
So you're saying that the child
Yes, and then the second
has
one,
provoked.
yes.
You're saying is that
Yes, and
provoked
then
him.
yes, and then in Lisa's report, he also mentioned because that kid shared the same school bus with Alan,
Oh, okay.
and then after the second suspension, about the 2 days suspension you mentioned, and then we keep working with Alan, and then but in March, and then that kid tried to hit Alan, but I have to say that Alan shows his progress because he did not fight back. And then it's what you can talk to the bus driver, even the bus driver, when he came to us and he said, oh, Alan didn't.
Can I have it?
Yes, of course, because that kid tried to attack Alan, and then the driver needs to hold that kid away from Alan, but Alan showed very how to say that
Restraint.
control himself. Yes, and then so that's why I think that it is also how because the bus driver Carl, he keep communicating with us because we also worry about the incident. That's why I sent an email to the school reporting our worry and then the safety concern about it. And then, and I'm sorry to say that on the May the 25th, that incident is also related to that boy. And most worse is that on case report, it gives us some information, but why we want to have all the information? Because there is some missing part we didn't know before until we have the case report today. Because you know that when we talk with Alan about the incident, it was because he's afraid, he's worried, because he wants to be good, and then he knows that he gets into trouble again. So, but today, when we read about it, it's an incident report Tuesday, May the 26th, and then we find some triggers because the writers asked Alan observed to be low energy here, and then however is often sleepy first thing. Writers asked the other student to head to the classroom while Alan was asked to head to the office for a meeting. And then Alan ignored the direction and walked to the locker, then to the classroom. Writers stopped Alan from entering the classroom by closing the door, then redirect him to this meeting, which he was able to do so, and then he made complaints about this meeting, saying that the other student gave him middle finger on the bus, and he should be punished. And then, so you know what? Because Alan, on that day is the birthday of that kid. So the kid who he thought, I'm not saying what he thinks is right, but in his
It's a trigger.
it is a trigger because in his mind is that the kid can go to the kid do some improper action to him. He's not brave. He can return to class. And Alan, in his mind, okay, said he did nothing wrong, but he's still taken to the office and then saying that in his mind, okay, I will know, I know that listen, you're right, but we need to explain how to do. But in his mindset, is being blamed on that. So this is the trigger that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that
Okay.
trigger. But yes, also and so that's why I say that I can kindly answer why May the 26th have that incident, and then maybe we do not see the whole story, and under his in his mind that everything is happening. Yes, and yeah.
Just looking at the time, we're already at a bit over here, so like,
Yes.
I would just, on closing, I would really recommend you to go again back to the doctor and talk to the
Yes.
doctor about these incidents.
Yeah, of course. Yes, we will.
And I just wanted to finish too, that you speak about expulsion and I know you're familiar, but expulsion in Calgary Catholic is not kicking you out of Calgary Catholic. It's not, it's looking at a different environment that is more suitable for your son. So I don't know if you know that. So when we speak of expulsion, we're not speaking, Alan is kicked out, is moved away from our district. So know that. He always has a place. I mean, if whatever way we go, I have to go back and study all this and take my time, whatever decision. But if it was a decision to uphold expulsion, please know that he's not being forgotten or left or booted out of Calgary Catholic. There's always a home in our schools for him. So know that. Okay?
But what I worry when I talk to Jennifer about that is that he will be labeled. He will be labeled, and then he thinks that in his label because he's not getting support, and then because of this happening, and then what's more is that we think that it will bring him into danger in the mental health because he will have the thing that he is being blamed on it. so that is what I'm worried that his mental health and what we have done for such a long time in OLOL, in Santa Monica, with all the efforts that the teachers, the staff
Do you know
put into
how long
it.
it's on the record for?
3 years.
3 years.
Yes, and
then
that-
it's gone.
but-
No
but-
university, no other high school.
But you know that still,
Just know that.
but you
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
he is still that
Yeah.
he's going to enter the teenager. Is that and then what actually because the hormone, because it fosters the and then if this kind of label it still will go and then you know that
I just wanted to
I-
be clear that you
yes,
understood the
but
definition.
still we want
Yeah,
him
yeah.
because I have to just like my husband mentioned before because to be honest still expulsion like the death penalty of course you say that but still it's like the worst penalty for the student, is that right? And then but we still want to ask that whether all methods have been tried
Yeah.
on Alan to help him, especially the structure support.
That's what you said, no?
Yes.
You've argued that,
Yes,
very much so, and so
Yes.
I hear you.
yes,
You've gone through and,
Mhm.
talked about triggers, you've talked about,
yes,
the environment,
Mhm.
you've talked about structure.
yes.
You've talked also about,
Mhm.
if he was in an environment or,
Yes.
conducive, he might not react the way he
And-
did.
and-
Yeah,
by the-
because you know that if Alan already been observed with
Yeah.
that kind of signals, is that he can put him back into the structure time, and then we can discuss his misbehavior later, so that everything will not be escalated. Because you know that he is. Sorry, I seem like I'm defending him, but I still need to put it on the table because he is a 12-year-old kid with ADHD, but we are the adults. We can judge what will help him, and then with the safety plan, it's already outlined there.
Yeah, so actually the triggers we want to bring your attention to is not only those ones specifically trigger, but those triggers are actually specifically or explicitly in the safety plan.
Yeah.
And based on my experience, like when you use those plan and structure support, we identify those triggers. We know that he's kind of in a very favorable places, and if you push him further, he will explode. And then we probably would use a strategy or protocol of de-escalation. So that has proved to be extremely effective in OLOL and probably the first year of St. Monica. But here specifically on the 26th, the first half is quite clear that
He was escalating.
the safety plans had not been
Has not been followed.
I don't want to say that, but probably there might be some doubts how it had been. But the second part is when it is class book application by the professional teachers like Kate and Mr. G. Actually, Alan can actually even at an extremely dangerous dangerous status or magnitude can be quickly de-escalated and not self-regulate, but at least he regulated and end up peacefully and he went home, right? So this is I think the very objective observation that when it is absent and when it is timely implemented, the difference is so contrast.
I hear you loud and clear. Thank you. I think that's the time we have. I appreciate, I'd like to kind of move to closing comments from Lisa. Is there anything else you feel you just could not say today that I need to know?
How
process to say we can ask questions.
Yeah, so part of your questions were all on de-escalation
Yes.
and triggers, and I was gonna turn that
Yes.
to Lisa to talk about that
Yes.
morning, and she can explain a little bit. Would that answer some of your questions? Yeah, okay.
So, it cannot be completed here today, and then we.
No.
Oh, sorry, yeah, because I don't,
Yeah,
yes,
we
yeah,
will,
okay,
we will,
yes,
we will.
yes, okay, sure. Just give me one sec, let me, finally review any questions I
Okay.
have. Yeah, sorry, because,
So now to, like, because English is not my mother tongue, so like, I'm not sure like whether my remark have been like fully understood. So, is it possible that maybe I can send you a written record of my remark to you so that you can like, may capture anything that
No,
I've spoken in my.
I will study all this,
yes,
so
please,
I
yeah,
would
because I don't know that,
appreciate,
yeah, because
no,
of
no, I will
our
take- I
English
will
is
take my
not,
time.
yeah.
So, I think you have my email,
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
so please send that to me.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
and do you need the
Can I have
soft copy? This one is for you, but do you need the soft
Digital?
copy?
No.
Then you don't need the
No.
digital.
This is perfect, this is
Yes.
perfect.
And now I understand.
Yeah.
Do you need one? You have it, okay,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yeah. So we already input, our
Good.
consideration
Okay, I
regarding
will.
expulsion and then the requested outcome. And then in
You've done an incredible job, like really, so I appreciate it. So I will take the time to
Mhm.
study and read it. Know that I will, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to finish, always finish with the school. Go ahead, Lisa, if you wanna share.
I just wanted
your
to
thoughts.
clarify a few things. I think the biggest one is that Mr. Gillis and Ms. Robar said they were able to eventually have a conversation with him.
Yeah,
That was probably after about 2 hours. So that was after like the comments in my office, up the sidewalk, in the neighbors' yards, banging on the glass, police showing up, mom being there. Like, that was significantly length of time that they were working with him. And that was when they were removed from everyone in the alcove. So that, I would say, probably a good hour and a half to 2 hours after. I have spent so much time in that classroom this year, to the point where days I have been up there for the full day. So, them coming to talk to me is not like, oh, you're going to the office, like that. They are probably more familiar with me than any other administrator any of them had. That has to do with when we have guest teachers, I try to always go up. If there's Miss Kate's away, Miss Salam, which is our EA away, I go up. They do all quite well respond to me, not all the time, but overall I have a great relationship with them all. So like, to come to the office to have a conversation is not a negative thing, in the fact that where it's like, okay, we're gonna go check in with Miss McSween, that's like a routine kind of thing, in terms of, it's not like you're going to the principal's office as a negative thing.
so you didn't do an did you announce, please come down to the office, blah, blah, blah?
No, Miss Kate said, remember, we're supposed to go check in with Miss McSween. So when he comes in, and also in my 23 years, I've had Next Steps, ES1, ES2 elementary, ES2 junior high, ES3 junior high, and observation room. So in terms of like escalations, regulations, triggers, I am very cognizant in terms of reading the room. And so even at one point when Alan was getting escalated, he's like, are you typing to my mom, da-da-da? I was like, actually, look at my screen, I'm ordering from Costco for the kindergarten orientation. So like, showing him and trying to de-escalate the situation. When he was telling me, you know, I want you to dial this, I didn't react. I was like, you know, like, Alan, like, what is happening? Like, did something happen? So my approach with all students is more conversational. there would be no trigger there. I do worry, as Ms. Robart said, like the fixation on this one student, there seems to be kind of like that student has not had consequences, or that student isn't spoken to. And again, like, we don't share that information ever. Not all students see what happens. We don't tell parents what happens, right? Transportation, I have no control over. We share, if there's an infraction on the bus, that student did not take the bus for close to a month, the other student. There's only so much we do with DL transportation, infractions, that sort of thing. I guess my biggest worry is not only the student mentioned, but like what happens in another environment, right? Like, and I always share, like, you're gonna work with someone you don't particularly like, or who may be annoying, or may trigger you, but that does not excuse the behavior, right? Like, we can't act because someone triggers. So, you know, I do agree that there were some things that Alan has learned, and he was doing quite well. But when, say, a trigger comes up, such as that student, the response is so significant.
Well, that closes our meeting today. Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much for.
Thank you for hearing you. I heard you, and I will take what you said and to heart. I think I have a little script here that I have actually made up today. But please know that I will take time and go through the material. Please give me time. And then I will,
Do you expect me to send you right now, or?
when you get home.
Oh, okay. But you still have time to go with it.
Yeah, we still have, I don't have to make a decision till June 10th,
Oh,
June 9th, so I won't.
Tomorrow? Because,
no.
No. It's only June 4th today, so we've got some time.
But we read about the hearing saying that,
No, I think it's the June 9th, I have to give my word in, and then I think we have till the 10th. So, yeah, there's no hurry. Yeah.
because, you know that, I remember in the,
Because when was he suspended?
May 26th,
Yeah, so if you
Yeah.
go to,
but we did day one on the 26th.
we did day one on the 26th.
Yeah, because
yeah, because, it's required to.
And school days after the first day of suspension.
Suspension.
Right.
Yeah, so, May the 26th is the first, and then which is,
It was on our chart.
because I remember that,
Yeah, it's May 26th, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't count weekends.
no, so maybe the 8th.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So Monday, May 8th is the
Yeah.
10th day.
Yeah,
So
Monday, June 8th, sorry.
June 8th
Monday, June 8th.
would be the 10 days.
so
And then-
June
then I think
June
there's a
8
day or
will
two
be,
left.
need to return to school, so that is the day I think before that you need to make a decision, because we need to arrange to make sure whether he can return to school or,
Give the timeline. Can you
Yeah.
guys work with it?
It's the 8th. So day 10 is the 8th. So what Director, Mr. Jimmy has said is that by June 8th, he will reach out to you with his
Yeah.
decision, and then
So,
we can make the plan for, like, return to learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and one last thing, I think you already made it clear, so I just send email to Jennifer, so
Sure.
that she will send me the copy of the
Correct.
audio record and.
No, so that's not how it works. So as we talked about, you are invited to send me an email requesting that. I will receive that email. I will respond to the email to you saying that I've received your email requesting both documents and recording. I send that to our team who processes it. It doesn't happen overnight. There is time for that to happen. I will be honest with you, it's not most likely going to happen by June 8th. But you have to put in writing to me that you are requesting that.
Yep.
We will process it and respond to your request.
Okay.
And
We will.
sorry, one thing I probably should have added, it was mentioned that we had a meeting, myself and Janine.
Yes.
That was about being non-Catholic. And so, that was separate completely from returning to regular ed, all that sort of stuff. So there was a few things, sorry I didn't clarify that. The meeting myself and Janine had with parents was the Catholicity piece, and there's a timeline regarding that. The returning to regular ed, that's a decision that's, I don't have a say in that, that's at our district conferences. And that was when they thought regular ed would be the best option. So it was just two separate things, but then when we discussed the Catholicity piece, it was with the intent at that time, knowing that he would probably go back to regular ed, but this was prior to all of this.
But I want to also supplement it based on, I'm not actually quite following, but let me supplement it first. Based on our consents with Lisa and Deline's meeting, we actually had already lived up to our promise. We already successfully registered the baptism class in
For September
Yeah.
26th.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
For the September 2026 baptism class, already got the feedback from the confirmation from them, and we.
Did you get a letter?
Yeah, they're waiting for them to produce it.
Well,
Can you send that to us immediately?
yes.
But this is separate, this is
Yeah.
completely separate.
Yeah,
That's
But,
like
yeah,
a pure
but
training.
So I
still,
think-
we want to confirm
Yeah.
that he is, he's, on May the 25th, he is still assessed that he's ready to return to the regular school. Yes.
Okay.
And then we will work, we will have, because, we really, cherish the value and the blessing from the CSSD. That's why it's a big decision, and then it also take us quite a long time to figure out, because we are new here. We were not familiar with this baptism thing, and then last year we tried to apply for those classes, but we searched the whole city around, and then because we get the feedback from the church quite late, because we sent an email in April, and then they returned to us in September, and then at that time we cannot make the schedule fit into, and then we're still working on that. Because we want Alan to get, that's what we have the meeting with Principal Lisa and Deanna about that. We want Alan to get continuous
Calgary Catholic.
support, so that we can make he can further grow, because we are worried that if the environment change will also lead to the behavior problem. That's why we keep working on that. Yes.
And just to reiterate that today's conversation, both the meeting that occurred prior, where the three of us were able to go through the binder in all of its complexities and full completion, as well as the hearing, is about the incident that occurred on May 25th. It does not include any other factors such as registration or faith residency. It is really about the incident that occurred, the supports that are in place, the observed dysregulation, the responses to that regulation, the supports of a safety plan, as well as the acknowledgement of student stories, and how we can now respond to creating a safe environment where those skills that Alan has been supported with through all of his career since grade 3, with a learning support plan that identifies triggers known and otherwise, so that he can become his best version. And we saw an incident where that we weren't able to regulate him, not because triggers or a safety plan were not followed, but rather that the response to those regulations were not adhered to by his heightened emotion. And so when we talk about those pieces of registration, those aren't even things that Director Denise going to take into consideration today, and today's about the incident. Just so that, and we did talk about that previously,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I want you to
Yeah.
feel know that that is separate.
Okay. Maybe, we should close, with a prayer.
Just one more second, sorry, excuse me, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll just say, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, Lord, we ask you to bless us. Thank you for our meeting today. May we go out and, I will be thinking and praying about this case and come to a resolution. We ask you in your name. Amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you. And we close it off then.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No, we just finished. Just
Okay,
finished
I'm
talking
just,
about
Alan
it.
has not eaten or had anything to drink, and I've offered a few times, but he hasn't had anything.
All right, take care.
Thank
you. Nice to meet you.
Really appreciate it.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry
you.
again.
Okay. You take your time packing up. I'll walk you to the elevator.
Oh, thank you so
Otherwise,
much.
she won't be able to get down the
Oh,
elevator.
yeah, sorry,
No.
make it so late for you
No,
guys.
please don't apologize.
But you know what, we need to take it very seriously, because we want Alan to continue his progress. And then we're sorry, really, really sorry about the incident. And you don't know how difficult I feel that I know that
It's challenging.
yeah, it's really challenging.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
But we will try our best to support you.
Like you said at the beginning, we're partners, right? We want to collaborate together.
Yes.
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 Please have his back.
Yeah. But I'm gonna look around. Sorry, we don't want to come back and say, oh.
Is this your charger?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll walk you to the elevator.
Thank you.
I'm just not sure that it's let you down. Let's grab Alan here.
Alan, ready then?
Alan, you got a long afternoon for you, my friend. I'm sorry. You're so patient.
Yeah.
Is that your book? Oh, your headset. Yeah. I'll walk.
Take care, bye-bye.
Did you forget?
Sure that I get everything, especially
嚟嘅我啦。You're welcome. Okay, we'll go this way, just out this glass door over here.
你哋玩咩啊？
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, for sure.
Nice to see you.
Oh, perfect. That doesn't happen exactly. Everyone left. Sorry. Okay, sorry to make you late.
Okay.
Take
care.
care. Meeting you. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. You guys have a good evening.
咁流唔流啊？
點知啊？你睇下啦。
佢哋唔係今日講。
唔會今日咁快決定嘅，佢幫手
8號，佢8號啦。
8號咪下個星期日啦。
星期一。
咁即係聽日要決定啦，冇星期一要返學。
係啊。
係啊，你引用埋嗰個啊，你同佢講話呢一個，我哋想知道星期一上課點安排。
咁聽日冇。
除非佢就即刻咩我哋咯。
星期一啲人都未 ban 嗰個咩？
係啊嘛。要還翻個係。
你覺得使唔使？你覺得使唔使交啊？
Thank you. Have a good one.
你覺得我哋使唔使發咗俾佢先？
咩啊？而家你 call 咗啦嘛？你
係啊。
你信唔信？
我嗰份
我知啊，你仲要執啊？
我梗係要想收一執啦。
咁啊，聽日先發咯。
咁啱㗎。
咁發咯，佢話可以乜嘢嘛？話翻去真空啊，你點知我真空就今晚要入嚟啦，我全部即刻睇㗎啦。佢話分得幾多樣啊？
一啲衫啫，一啲衫啊！
等我就。話快啲去抽。哦，係咩？我見到佢嗰個係紅色嘅。你話等一下，那看描补一下，描补一下，描补一下。聽到啊！佢同我哋講，哎呀，其實你知唔知道，佢唔係緊要㗎咋，呢個咁嘅嘢，我話唔得，我話呢個要乜嘢嘅，我話要 mental help 嘅。
神嘅 Excel 唔緊要，咁咪唔緊要。
係啊。
喂，唔好咁樣炸爛我個咩啊！
呢個有冇？我今日好後備箱啊！你睇係咪箱對唔住啊？
放喺度。
我將佢放喺呢度先啦。你覺得點啊？
嚇？
你覺得我哋今日作雞咗點？
可以嘅。睇你嗰個錄音停咗佢先，都係掟埋俾 AI 呢一個幫我哋分析下咯。
你點搞啊？唔緊定，我自己嗰部咩都錄緊嘅，你等。
咁你梗係搞先。